is actually going to start, okay? So for this video, I want to make a somewhat historical pirate shirt. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube by my beloved YouTubers like Morgan Donner and Bernadette Bennett. Different time period shorts, they vary somewhat around the neckline, around of how the sleeves are made. I don't think I want to go for historical accuracy. My version is gonna be just fantasy based.
So this is the sketch I made for this shirt a year ago. You can see the length of the sleeve and the shirt itself. As for the pattern, the shirt doesn't actually have any pattern. You just take big rectangular pieces, one big for the body and two smaller ones for the sleeves. You can make the body out of two pieces and sew it in the shoulder region. Then you're gonna attach the sleeves to the shirt and add gussets to the places of tension. The gussets are drawn here triangular, but they can be square because it's just on fold. The end of the sleeve is gonna be ruched and put into a cuff on each side. To reinforce the neck opening, I'm going to add a piece of fabric at the end of it. And the neck opening is also going to be ruched before it's put into a collar. The bottom of the shirt is going to be cut for better mobility. Oh, and don't forget to add the small gussets where the neck opening ends.
I actually planned making this shirt a year ago, so I already pre-cut all the pieces, and now I will have to just decode what the hell each piece is, because I didn't mark it. This piece over here is supposed to be the main part, the body of the shirt. So it has a cut. I guess it's got to be gathered here, that's why the head hole is so large. And I guess everything here should be gathered, otherwise I would just slip out of it. Then we have the gutlets, little triangular pieces that actually are square. It goes to the armpit, so you could actually lift your hands up. There are two little triangular pieces. I guess they go for the neck opening, so you wouldn't rip it at the first try. And then there is this. I have no idea where this should be. This fabric is cotton, and in the best traditions of makers YouTube, it's not just cotton, it's thrifted bed sheets that somebody probably died in. Also, there is this one doubled piece of fabric, and I'm guessing that this is for the neck. But isn't it too small? I look like a 90s businessman. American Psycho. Alright. And, oh, the sleeves, right? Yes, and the sleeves, which were actually the only part I bothered to mark. And these sleeves are, let's see, wait. These sleeves are pretty long, which I'm not sure, mixing with this part that is pretty tight. So I couldn't actually lift my sleeve up my arm. And this is pretty long. Not sure how it's going to work together, but we shall see. So let's rewatch the tutorials and understand actually what is what. The body piece is from bicep to bicep, and the length is actually whatever you want. I know, did you know, that historically the undershirt or chemise or whatever it is, it sorta acted like an underwear. So at the top you're a pirate, and at the bottom you fold your shorts so it forms a sort of like a diaper shape, and it goes around your butt. So if you were wearing pants, you should probably make it shorter, so you don't like have a whole bed sheet in your pants. But if you're planning to wear it with a dress, you can make it floor length. Mine is about my knee length. Also for the measurements, this must be the length of your shoulder, and for me, for past me at least, it's 6.5 inches, which Morgan Donner says that's too much, but I am bigger than the average person, so maybe it's good for me. And also these little triangular parts, they don't go here, they go here as a gusset, so the transition between this angle and the shoulder be smoother. So then this make this part go here on the fold. I thought it's gonna be gathered, but it seems like it wouldn't. And I made it 8 inches down my chest. So this is pretty uncomfortable for me. Let's see how deep it's gonna be. It's gonna be deep. That's okay, I will make my best Mr. Darcy deep V cut. Now I'm going to gather the sleeve so it would actually fit the cuff. And after watching the tutorial, I saw that the cuff is not closed, so my feet can actually fit if I make a tiny little shoelace here, so that's gonna be fine. Now I have to make it even and slap the cuff on it. But before that, I need to close the cuffs from the both sides because they're not gonna be connected in loop. So the edges would be finished. Also, looking at Morgan's tutorial, she said that this neck piece is way too big. So I wonder if I actually wanna cut it in half so it's not as gigantic of a collar. Collar is called a collar. Well, actually now when I look at it, I sorta wanna make the collar hand stitched. So I've never done it before and we shall see if I can do it more neat than the machine can. So what Morgan tells me to do is not to make it double as I would make it with the machine, but instead to just make a tiny teensy tube, roll in it, and then stitch over. But what I'm afraid is going to happen is as soon as I touch it, it will just fray all the way down to the bottom, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it. And also, I don't want to make this place ugly, because this is the part that is gonna be most visual, but it's gonna be covered with the gusset anyway, so I shall give it a try. I tried to make a little bit. I cannot show you because I cannot hold camera and the fabric at the same time, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure about this place though. Anyway, stay tuned. Well, that's taking forever and I'm not sure the results are very neat. This is what I have so far and I'm almost at the middle, so it's too late to turn back now. I don't want to brag, but I'm getting pretty fast and good at this. The only problem is the amount of actual times I saw my own finger meet to this is immaculate. Ta-da! Now when it's actually hand sewn, I wonder if I can make this part embroidered and not a piece of fabric, because I think it would look prettier. Psych! I'm going to make it by machine because this is too delicate and I'm afraid to ruin it.
So after all, I decided to make a collar a little bit smaller, use the ruler and cut the extra fabric. Then before putting the ruched sleeve into the collar, I need to close the collar from the both sides. Cutting the corners so it wouldn't bulk too much on the inside of the cuff. Pressing down every step so everything is flat and beautiful. To make sure that the ruching made by hand stays, I decided to zigzag stitch it on my machine. And then it was time to put the ruched sleeve inside of the cuff.
So I French seamed all the sleeve, and I wasn't sure how to do with the gusset, but instead of googling it and stressing it out, I just made it the way I made the whole seam and the first time. So I went through here. Then I reloaded my machine and went back and got here. So if we turn it inside out, it's looking pretty decent. I think it's gonna be good. Oh yeah, Elizabeth, here I come. This thing is too tight, so maybe I should cut this seam open and have like a little bit of an opening. I made an opening and attached the cuff. Fitting the whole sleeve into such a small cuff was hell of a stress, so didn't feel like recording it. I think I will either just stitch a little shoelace here or make a loop and put maybe a button. I'm not sure. It's looking pretty nice. So both sleeves are ready and they're not too tight. I don't like how this part looks because it looks like just a little bag full of fabric scraps. I think what I'm going to do is to put one more seam on the perimeter of it. I'm not sure how historically accurate it is, but using a sewing machine isn't. And then we can get started with the body. I'm going to attach the sleeve first and then close the side of the body. I'm not sure if it's correct, but I don't care. So to do that, I need to find the middle upper part of the sleeve right here and to connect it with this seam on the bodice when there's a neck opening and where front gets into back. So I'm going to sandwich those together, wrong sides together, because I am French seaming this. So I have sewn all around the sleeve and I am back to the gusset now. So I'm going to stitch it up here and then just continue it down the main part of the shirt. So I have attached one sleeve and I had a flashback to my childhood when I had this fairy tale book about a girl who had a lot of brothers, like 30 of them, and they all got turned into geese. And to turn them back to a human form, she had to make shorts out of nettle. And she didn't have enough materials, so one of her brothers got the short with only one sleeve. And in this picture book, he was wearing such short, and he had one arm with no sleeve, and this arm was not human, it stayed as like a goose wing. That was really cool. So, oh my god, that's so large. But you know what, so am I, so it's gonna be gathered here, right? So is it my shoulder size? Approximately. So we shall attach another sleeve. So I'm afraid we have a slight problem. I don't know what have I done wrong, and Morgan said it has to be to your fingertips, and like even if I gather this neck opening like real hard, this is where my shoulder is. I think even for historical garment, this is way too long. I would be the richest person in the village to have that much fabric. So if the shoulder is here, which is, I'm not completely sure, gonna be, I still have it. Well, it's exactly to my fingertips, but if it's going to be closed, it's not gonna slide off my hand. But do I need this much fabric? I don't know. I decided that I do indeed want this much fabric. Although, like, elephant sleeves. It doesn't look this big in the video, but damn. I could just sweep the floor with this. So, if I gather it, well, on the bright side, the shoulders are where they're supposed to be. But here, I want to keep it as a silly little beginner project, so I could like take it out of my closet when I'm 77 years old, look at this and think, well, my hands grew out of my butt, same as my head. I tried to French seam the hell out of it, like I had 2 centimeters seam allowance, but it didn't make any difference actually. I could have cut it here and sacrifice either the gusset. Where is it? Where? It's there. And sacrifice either the gusset or the ruching of the sleeve, but I don't feel like doing it, so let's keep these gigantic sleeves. Before gathering the neckline, I added one more gusset on each side of the neck hole opening because otherwise it's gonna be ripping here. And I unintentionally made a cool historical thing.
Putting the last detail at the bottom of the neck opening, I am now ready to show you a cool thing that I made.
That's it for this video. Overall, I'm so happy with this project. I think sometimes I will wear this shirt. I'm not sure it's publicly acceptable to wear it all the time, because today when I was shooting the review, I caught some suspicious eyesight. Of course, obviously, it's too big for me. It could successfully fit like 3 people in here, but that's alright. I would definitely make the sleeve shorter next time. And maybe I shouldn't be afraid to leave smaller spaces here. Also, it feels like a bedsheet because it is. And remember I told you about a whole bedsheet in your pants? It's good to have something that you can look at and say, huh, I use gussets in this project, so it's somewhat historical. Look! Also, a shirt like this is great for a lot of costumes. You can cosplay dead Victorian children, pirates, vampires, adventurers, anything you want. I enjoyed making this project. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you up next Monday. Bye!